Take chains off.
God. All right. That was a good intro.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, welcome back to UConn Tonight Show, everyone. I'm your host, Tony Tyson.
I'm your co-host, Brian Higgins.
And here's what's new in the news this week. In political news, Donald Trump probably said something like, women shouldn't be allowed to vote, and his poll numbers probably went up to about 200%. Last night's Republican debate was absent of Trump, who boycotted the debate, feeling that moderator Megyn Kelly was biased against him. Because the debate just didn't feel right without Trump there, they replaced him with a large air horn wearing a toupee. The air horn is currently 3 points ahead of Jeb Bush.
On January 16th, the classic children's show Sesame Street moved to its new home on HBO. So just like you've always wanted, you can now see boobs on Sesame Street. In response to allegations tweeted by his ex-girlfriend that he enjoys ass play during sex, Kanye West tweeted yesterday, "Exes can be mad, but just know I never let them play with my ass. I don't do that. I stay away from that area altogether." So if anyone was wondering, Kanye West definitely loves ass play.
During the football offseason, Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce will have his own reality dating show on E! Titled Catching Kelce. "I like his tight end," says someone in the first 5 minutes of the show probably. Indian woman Aparna Kumar is making news after becoming the first Indian police officer to climb Mount Vincent Massif, the highest peak in Antarctica. Kumar has now scaled the highest mountain on 5 of the world's continents. "Good," said the Indian police force. 2 more and her suspension will be lifted.
After an exciting round of divisional playoffs, Super Bowl 50 is set to feature the Denver Broncos and the Carolina Panthers. The game will feature 2 of the league's most famous quarterbacks, Cam Newton and Rip Van Winkle. In other football news, this year's Pro Bowl will take place on Sunday in Hawaii. The annual All-Star Game is set to feature some of the league's biggest stars' teammates.
Ben Cohen, co-founder of Ben & Jerry's, has independently released a Bernie Sanders-themed ice cream. The flavor is called Bernie's Yearning and contains prunes and Viagra. NBC has announced members of the 8th season of Celebrity Apprentice. The season will feature cast and members such as Snooki, John Lovitz, and Boy George, and will be hosted by Arnold Schwarzenegger instead of Donald Trump. Somewhere there is a reality in which Donald Trump and Snooki are in the same TV show, and suddenly our world looks a little better.
Rapper B.O.B. spent the week on Twitter presenting evidence that the world is not round, but actually flat, a belief hinted at in his song Airplanes, when he said, "Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Also, if they fly too far without stopping, they'll end up in space." B.O.B. also released a song called Flatline, offering evidence that the Earth is in fact flat. It's quickly becoming the most popular conspiracy theory song since Bush did 9/11 by the Jonas Brothers.
The Iowa caucus will be held this coming Monday, and the Democratic race is appearing closer than expected, with Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton drawing huge crowds at rallies, and Martin O'Malley drawing still bigger crowds than the Pro Bowl. UConn has announced plans to set up a learning community specifically for African-American males that would be unveiled next semester. The community, which would be called Scholars House, has come under fire from critics who believe this resembles racially segregated housing. UConn has responded by announcing plans to create another community made up of students with the same race and gender. So look out for UConn's newest learning community, White Bitches. Well, we have a great show for you today. We have representatives from UConn Stand-Up and SUBOG and our Vice Provost of Global Affairs, Dan Weiner. Stay tuned for more UConn Tonight Show. Hello and welcome back to the UConn Tonight Show. I'm your host, Tony Tyson. Our guest today is Dan Weiner, Vice Provost of Global Affairs. Mr. Weiner, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And then,
How's it going? I'm your co-host, Brian Higgins, but I guess that's not important.
oh my God, sorry, Brian.
It's fine.
So, Dr.
Move
Weiner,
this chair back a little.
do what you got to do. Dr. Weiner, what does your job entail as Vice Provost of Global Affairs here?
So, Vice Provost of Global Affairs is a large portfolio. All the students that study abroad, all the students that come in, the human rights programming.
Okay.
We have the GTDI, Global Training Development Institute. We have intensive English. So we're a very large conglomerate, actually.
I heard actually the human rights program just received a donation of about $2 million.
Actually, it was $4 million
$4
gift.
million,
It
yes.
it just grew.
Yes.
We should spend more time together.
Yeah.
It was $2 million from George Soros.
Oh, nice.
Another $2 million match from Gary and Phyllis Gladstein. Gary Gladstein is an alumnus.
Oh, nice.
And a $2 million match. So we're now out looking for additional money to get up to at least $6 million. So it's very exciting.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
When did you start working here at UConn as the Vice Provost?
This is my 4th year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you came from Ohio University?
I was at Ohio University for 4 years, and I was at West Virginia University for 18.
Okay. So how did you end up working here at UConn as the Vice Provost?
I was the Director of International Programs at West Virginia University for 11 years, and then I went to Ohio University. So I already had 15 years experience leading international programs, and when the job came up here, I was very, very excited because I'm from New York City. I went to school in Worcester, Clark University, so right between the two, towards Connecticut.
That's interesting. So you started out at Clark's University. You went to school there. What was your undergraduate major?
I did 3 degrees in geography.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, all 3 degrees.
And then you wound up being the vice provost of global affairs here.
Yeah, so geography is very well suited for global affairs. My career, I've spent a lot of time working in Africa.
Okay.
I've worked in East Africa and Southern Africa, and done a lot of research. So, you know, travel around the world doing research and doing things. So it's a good fit. And I also, you know, this is a really exciting time at the University of Connecticut. You know, it's a university that's going places, so I wanted to be part of that story.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
What was your research on when you went to Africa?
I've done research on all kinds of things. I did my dissertation on agricultural geography in Zimbabwe, on energy use in agriculture. Then I did a lot of work on land use and land reform. And then I've done work on using geographic information systems for community development. And I actually did work also in Appalachia when I was working in West Virginia. We went into communities and we did some community mapping with them.
Wow, that's pretty cool. What's your favorite place you've ever done work or research?
Favorite place? Well, I really enjoyed working in South Africa. It was a really profound experience, and you know, I was working there during a period of political transition and the end of apartheid.
Oh, wow.
And it was really quite amazing to watch that process unfold.
That's really cool.
And working with communities, you know, you map where their land was. They would tell you where they used to live, and they got kicked out of land, and the water they used to have access to.
Yeah.
So being able to help communities get their land back through a geographic project was really exciting.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was very exciting.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, you work in the diversity task force?
I'm the co-chair of the
Co-chair,
diversity
okay.
task force with Dana Weidler. That is correct.
Okay, now
That is
what does that entail?
The task force has met for over a year, and we've just completed our work. And we're very excited because we're building a diversity infrastructure at the University of Connecticut. We're in the process of hiring a chief diversity officer. And we are developing a new office, the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. And we're also going to be establishing a diversity council. Okay. So we believe that the infrastructure is really important. So while we want to hire the most qualified, the best person possible, it really requires an entire community to be invested in diversity. And it requires structures and processes to be successful too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the diversity task force, does it mainly like administrators, or does it include undergraduate or graduate students as well?
We had undergraduate and graduate students.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah. So then obviously the student voice is critical.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Right, and the students have been really helpful and really helped us see things, you know, in certain ways. It's been very helpful.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Weiner, thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
As the co-chairman of the diversity task force, how are we doing here?
We are doing really well with student in terms of numbers. So the diversity of the student population has actually changed pretty significantly. We have some more work to do on staff and faculty diversity. And we are aware that there are campus climate issues that need to be addressed as well. So I think that we're doing very well in terms of the demographics of the student population. We need to continue to talk with students and learn from students and create a climate where everybody's comfortable and where people are celebrating their multicultural environment of UConn.
Okay. How are we doing on the show?
How are we doing?
How's the show as far as diversity?
Oh, it's your show. It looks pretty.
Looks pretty good to
I think
me.
it's pretty good. I thought you meant UConn.
Well, that too.
You are a microcosm of some of the diversity of the university.
All right. That's our new catchphrase.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for
It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thanks for having me.
That was a
Okay. Thank you
great
very much.
answer to the probably
To the other
more
question.
professional question.
Okay.
And we'll be back with more UConn Tonight Show.
You know, it's work like that. That's why the chicks dig me, I'll tell you.
You know me. Would I let you down? Come here and hug me.
Hello and welcome back to the UConn Tonight Show. I'm your host, Tony Tyson.
And I'm your co-host, Brian Higgins.
And our guests today are Rachel Finlaw and Christian Spar from SUBOG. Both of you, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Great to be here.
I'm sick. I'm sorry. I don't want to get either.
Thank you for having us.
So you're both from SUBOG. I'll start with Rachel. How did you get involved with SUBOG?
I joined SUBOG my sophomore year. I had joined the special events committee, which was really awesome. And then this year I'm a senior and I applied to be on the board. And now I'm the outreach chairperson, one of them, with Christian.
Hey, Christian.
And I started out on the concert committee
Okay.
and the recruitment and retention committee, which doesn't exist anymore. We just call it outreach.
Okay.
And then I also applied to be on the board, and Rachel and I are both outreach chairs.
Okay. So what is your responsibilities as outreach chairs?
Primarily social media, so we're on all of the 4 popular platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat.
Follow us.
There you go.
And we both advise the 8 programming chairs on, how to better market their events and get the word out to the campus.
Okay. So are there any upcoming events that you have coming up soon with SUBOG?
We have Winter Weekend actually coming up. So
Okay, when's that?
It starts next Wednesday.
Mhm.
So Christian will talk about the first events.
Yeah, so the theme is Winter Weekend in the Blizzarding World of Stores, so Harry Potter.
There you go.
Yeah. So the first event we have coming up is Iliza Shlesinger. She is the winner of NBC's Last Comic Standing and has 2 popular Netflix shows.
Yeah.
So she'll be at Jorgensen on Wednesday night. Doors open at 7:30,
There you go.
and the show starts at 8. And tickets are actually free for all undergrads.
Free comedy show.
And they can be picked up at the Jorgensen box office all the way up until the night of the show. And then it's $10 for all you grads and faculty and staff members out there. And that's put on by our comedy committee.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So how did you get in contact with this comedian? Like, how did you just reach out? Like, did you just call up Netflix one day or NBC like, hey, we want this comic, come on the show?
So Meg is great, our comedy chair, and she works with what do you call it?
Agent?
An agent. Thank you, Rachel. So she works with an agent. We like to get up-and-coming comedians. A lot of our comedians throughout the year down in the Student Union Theater are up-and-coming, and a lot of the times the next year they might have their own Netflix show or their own comedy special show. So we like to get the up-and-coming, and Iliza's pretty popular right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. So are there any other part of this whole winter weekend thing starts on Wednesday? Anything else that's going on in that regard?
Yeah, so Thursday we have a daytime event downstairs in the Student Union lobbies, and it's called Huskies, Hogwarts, Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
And you can actually make your very own Hogwarts student ID. And, yeah. So if your Hogwarts acceptance letter didn't come in the mail, you can act like a student and pick your house. We'll take your picture and get your very own ID. And we also have butterbeer, non-alcoholic. So yeah, sipping on some butterbeer, and I think we also have airbrush hats and scarves.
Okay.
So getting into the Harry Potter spirit.
Brian doesn't seem too happy about the non-alcoholic beer.
That just seems like a tease.
That's awesome.
On Friday, we have 2 really awesome events.
Okay.
We have the 37th annual One Ton Sunday, and that's one of UConn and SUBOG's longest run traditions. That will be outside from 11 to 2 on the Student Union Terrace. So it'll be a little cold, but it might actually be one of the warmest One Ton Sundays yet. So we're excited. We're excited. It's free for seniors with your senior button and ID, and then $1 for all students. So that's really exciting.
And can they just get as much ice cream as they want?
It's like a bucket, and you fill it, and you can fill it with toppings and everything. So, and it's dairy bar ice cream. So, so big plus there.
That sounds awesome.
So what kind of ice cream are they having at the for the 1 ton Sunday? And I assume it's not a ton of vanilla.
Well, it goes in a big boat type thing. So there's a ton of different flavors. A lot of the most popular dairy bar flavors.
There we go.
And we always feature the senior scoop, which they haven't named yet, if I'm correct, but they, I think it's with coffee and Heath Bar, and they always have a big chunk of that, so it's a
nice.
feature.
Chunk.
Tub?
It's a pun.
Tub. I think that's a better word.
Tub?
Yeah.
Tub of what?
Ice cream.
Yeah, it's a tub.
Yeah.
Chunk is like.
The chunk was like a pun, so I like that. What else is going on Friday?
On Friday, Groove Boston is also coming to UConn. For those of you who don't know who that is or what that is, it's an EDM lights DJ show, which is really cool. Tickets are already on sale on jorgensen.uconn.edu. There's floor tickets, and student floor tickets are $25, so not bad. And it's going to be a really fun time. We're excited.
Yeah, and they were here 2 years ago, so we're excited to welcome them back.
And they were really awesome. The students really loved them last time, so that's why we brought them back.
Oh, okay.
And then not to end winter weekend, but on Saturday of winter weekend, we have a ski trip that unfortunately is already sold out.
Oh, wow.
But some lucky students are going to Mohawk Mountain for skiing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, I have to ask, because I really need to know this. Apparently, I heard that Fetty Wap is our spring concert. That's the rumor going around.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
You don't have to say yes or no. You can just blink twice if it's yes.
This is
It's a rumor.
It is a rumor.
It's actually Beyonce featuring Jay-Z.
And Kanye West's special appearance.
I would rather have Fetty Wap.
But you will find out soon enough.
Honey
We
Trap Queen,
typically
if it's
announce
true.
it around March. But
I had to ask why. How'd you hit the room
Who's
with the
Fetty
cameras
Wap?
up?
I've never even heard of Fetty
I
Wap.
don't know who that is.
So, next question, please.
Okay, the next question. Hey, what's up? Hello. Is the next question.
B1738.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So we just had the involvement fair this past week. Just a change. A nice smooth change for you. We just had the involvement fair this past week. Some people get involved in like different organizations. How do people reach out if they miss the involvement fair? How do they reach out and get involved in SUBOG?
So the involvement fair is one of really our biggest events on the outreach committee. We had such great students come up, whether they were freshmen, transfer,
Sophomores.
juniors, seniors, anyone looking to get involved. And the great thing about SUBOG is that you can tailor it to what you want to do. You can join as many committees as you want. You could be in one. You can be in all 8. I don't know. We haven't really had anyone that's been in all 8. But basically on
Yeah.
whatever your interests are, we get a lot of popularity for concert committee because they need the most help at the big shows. But every committee from lecture to special events needs members. And we always love to welcome new students.
So if I join, I can join the concert committee right now and just be like, Fetty Wap, Fetty Wap, Fetty Wap,
Fetty Wap.
This took a turn.
This is just we're hoping to surprise you and like you would just tell us.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be really awkward when we announce and it's not Fetty Wap.
You'll find out soon enough.
Cool. All right, well, both of you, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank
today.
you for having us.
Great to be
Having
here.
you on.
It was great to be here.
All right, and we'll be back with more UConn Tonight Show. Hello and welcome back to the UConn Tonight Show. I'm your host, Tony Tyson.
I'm your co-host, Brian Higgins.
And our guests today are Julian Rose and Hadia Ali, both students representatives of the UConn Stand-Up organization. Both of you, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I shake your hand, but I'm really sick right now, so I don't want to get you both sick.
All good. Yeah, thanks for having us. This is great.
Thank you. So let's start off with, I'm going to start with Hadia. Hadia, from what I've known about you, you started off in the beginning of this year as our homecoming queen. And now I hear people call you Hadia, the real queen of UConn. That's what I've heard.
It's true.
I'm not going to say from who. But someone has been telling people that.
It's true.
It was with Tajuku, right?
Yes.
You went to high school with him.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to school together.
You guys are both
Yeah.
very cool.
CHS track.
I ended up skipping a lot of practices, but still, back to the point. And now you're leading this kind of a revolution or a new movement here at UConn. How did you get involved with that?
Well, I don't know how to keep my mouth shut, basically. I'd like to say I'm somebody who's very about social justice, obviously, and so I study Africana studies, what I do in the classroom, so I try to do on the streets as well. And I know Julia through like Teach for America involvement, actually, and then what was happening on the Zoom just made me post a status, and Julia was like, text me, and we just decided to start a movement, so
Pretty much.
it worked well.
Okay. It seems that you've been getting support from any other organizations on campus. I mean, I went to one of your meetings last December. It was held in the African American Culture Center. Are you saying like, or do they just are you getting like support from them as well, or is there any other organizations backing you up in this regard?
There are a lot of student groups that are behind us, I think, because we try to make our justice very intersectional, and so we don't leave anybody out of the conversation. So a lot of people are being inspired to join into the conversation. We have BSA, who is also always in the room, the Women's Center has reps and things like that. And we just try to reach out to every marginalized voice, because we feel like if it's just for like Black Americans, that's not enough, obviously. So this campus needs to be more inclusive for all voices and all experiences.
Absolutely, and I would just add that I don't know if organizations themselves are what's behind us, but it's definitely the people within them. Like all movements are really about just like individuals getting together. And I think individuals from a lot of different groups on campus realize that there's a need for change. And so you see large quantities of people from specific organizations coming out. Like Poetic Release definitely like supports a lot of the social justice activism here. That's coming off the top of my head. Students Without Borders, they've been supporting a lot, so yeah.
That's great. So I actually went to also see one of your rallies that was held last semester as well. And I saw like there was a great number of people there. Did you expect to see so many people just from the get-go of this movement? Did you expect to see there's so many students actively involved in supporting this?
For me, I don't know about you, but for me, it was still amazing, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was a surprise. Like I think anytime that many people can come together around a movement of social justice, it's always amazing to me. But I had taken part in movements of the past at UConn specifically, and like kind of the same group of people, even though it wasn't the same people was there. So I believe that there's always this decent mass of individuals at UConn that do care about these issues and are willing to come out. So I wasn't necessarily surprised, but I was definitely very, very happy with it.
I think I was surprised only because it was so spontaneous. So it was like a couple days of turnaround time for us, like making a flyer and then having the event. But because these issues affect so many people, that would definitely have a great turnout.
So, excuse me, I'm sorry. So when it comes to your movement, a big part of it is definitely the Black Lives Matter movement. And one thing that really gets confused with the whole Black Lives Matter movement is that people might argue that Black Lives Matter only applies to people of African American descent, but not apply to like people like Brian, who's
like that camera and like not.
Yeah, like it wouldn't apply to them. So like, what would your response be to someone who says, "Oh, it's like what about all lives matter or white lives matter or something like that"?
You want to tackle this, or I can?
I'll go.
All right, you go first.
I saw something one time that was like the people who say all lives matter run through cancer, fundraising, doing other disease kill too. And it's like nobody's saying that your life, Brian, doesn't matter.
Oh,
and
thanks.
I think that basically those people are not around to talk about divorce. They're just here to say like they're just here to shut the conversation down. So when I say all lives matter, it's not because I want to talk about all lives, it's because I just want to talk about any life at all. And I think that most students pretty really articulately said it ontologically Black lives, and so we understand that like queer bodies, Hispanic bodies, undocumented bodies are all at risk as well, and Black Lives Matter does not disregard those lives. So I remember a teen named Dylan Henry, who's a white teen, was killed by a cop and he was unarmed. And Black Lives Matter was around for him. You did not hear anybody saying all lives matter when this white dude was killed. So I'm just thinking, if you're still around for them, why is it that you never want to actually take part of the conversation?
I agree. I would just add that Black Lives Matter, in my mind, is an assertion. It's an assertion against the norm. So, yes, we know that lives matter. Clearly, lives matter. But I think that because what society is telling us, that Black lives doesn't matter, it's almost like a rebuttal to that, a rebuttal to what's the status quo. So, I mean, when anyone makes an argument against the status quo, we're not saying, like, the rest of what might be true is not true. It's just like, this needs to be said. This is the conversation right now because these people are being affected. So I think that's the reason behind the Black Lives Matter movement, or specifically that name.
So part of your movement here at UConn here, I believe you had like a list of demands that you had for the university. have you submitted those demands? I know I went to your session in December. Did you have you and you kind of combed through them? Did you already like submit those demands to the university, or is that coming up anytime soon? Should we see any like big changes anytime soon?
I mean, it's, okay. Yeah, no, I'll answer. Yeah, we did submit them. I think we submit them like a few days after that meeting that we had.
A day?
Yeah, the turnaround was really, really fast.
You guys are good at getting things done.
We spent almost the entire night staying up, like editing it and stuff, making sure we included more things and included feedback from people that were submitting things to us, which was fantastic. Like, it was great that people were partaking in it as well. So yeah, we did submit those demands with other organizers. Like a few days after that, it was like what, December 19th, I feel like.
I think actually it was that Friday.
And then
Thursday we had a meeting.
it's
with
finals
Friday.
week too.
Yeah, no, it was.
Wow,
fun.
you guys
It
are-
was crazy.
It was intense.
You guys are dedicated.
But yeah, it was good that we were able to finish that.
That's good to get like just done, especially during finals week going on.
Absolutely.
Did you guys like sneak in like any like other demands in there, like free swipes for seniors or something? Just like try and sneak it by the
I think we
administration.
had talked about that for the next draft.
Yeah, definitely. It's a living document.
Also, there's a leak in my apartment.
We need your note anything so we can
Yeah,
okay.
Because there is a leak in my apartment.
Oh God.
We can work on that.
Oh my gosh. So, do you have any? This is the beginning of the semester. Do you have any upcoming events going on for this semester in terms of the movement? Do you have anything planned coming up?
Yeah, so I think right now we're really trying to think through what might be strategically the best things to do in order to enact change. I think that in the past, UConn has had many different movements, so we really try to like study what's been done in the past, what's been effective, what hasn't been effective, what have we tried, what have we not tried. I think right now we're just focused on communicating with everyone that's like kind of bought into the movement and has invested time and energy into it, because you know, like when the semester ends, people like kind of forget what's going on and stuff. So we're trying to like kind of rekindle that momentum that we definitely still have momentum, but like because people still come up to me at UConn and be like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, we're trying to figure it out. But I think we're just trying to like communicate with people and get the word out about what's going on.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. I think we're just trying to like check in with people, which are on the same page, and then move forward as a community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's great. Thank you both for coming on this show. I really appreciate you coming on, talking about the movement. Really excited to see what we have coming up for this semester.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks.
It was a great interview.
All right, and that's it for the UConn Tonight Show. Tonight Show. Tonight Show.